Welcome to another episode of Trail Truth Podcast. Today, I have a special guest with me. One of my friends that we've been close ever since I was in high school. I'm talking underdog, D1 athlete, collegiate athlete, and overseas athlete. I really don't have to say too much. When y'all see who it is, y'all know who it is. So I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, man, I'm blessed to be here. I appreciate the opportunity, supporting my boy, obviously trying to get this thing on the ground running. No further introduction. You got your boy Rob, RP in the building. I appreciate you, dog.
Yes, sir. So I always do this with every guest I get on here. How you doing mentally?
Man, I'm good mentally. I can't even lie, because the biggest thing mentally is basically, you finding your niche, you finding like where you are in life, trying to figure out, your next step. Obviously my journey's been different, but, mentally I had God, my faith just been growing and growing. So biggest thing with me is, understanding my why, and then, still, on my purpose and my journey, and, not getting too far ahead.
For sure. So when you say your journey was different, what do you mean by that?
Man, I ain't had a normal route, Nowadays you see a lot of kids, get the normal route or spoon fed, or more so handed to them, as we would say.
For sure.
It's different for me, especially coming from where I come from, or we come from, the hood, it's a lot that goes into it. So your goal is to make it out, but things weren't given to me. So my journey was a little different because I had to earn it. And then I earned it and it was still frowned upon. I did things and, people tried to shine hate, over something that couldn't shine hate over. So basically what I'm saying is the things that I did to get where I'm at, it ain't the typical, or it ain't the norm. So it's like, it was a little harder for me.
Yeah, for sure. So when you say things as far as like people hating and people just being, in a sense, I'd say unsupportive of somebody that's truly just trying to make it out. I think back to when we were in school together, when you were at Oak Ridge and you played. A lot of people, when they watch this, like, I'm gonna just be honest, they can Google you.
For
and
sure.
You can say that as,
For sure.
as an individual, you can Google me. You know what I mean? And when they Google you, they're going to see someone that they didn't see early on when I came into school, it's 2015. That's when I got into high school. They didn't see Rob then. They seen Rob 2018, 2017, and then 2019 going forward. So when you think to those days, all those silent nights and just grinding, trying to get where you were, knowing that you were already good, how did that impact your mentality, knowing that you were already at a level where you deserve recognition, but you never got it, especially going to a school like Oak Ridge?
It impacted me so much because just seeing the people there, knowing that, and I don't want to say that I was better, but knowing that I can do what they did, or knowing that I had the right tools to, excel, or, be on the outskirts of just trying to, be a better person or better individual, or even a better player. And then seeing them bring all these guys in, and you just looking like, dang, like, you don't want homegrown. You don't want somebody who, been here. So what made me get the mentality that I had was the neighborhood, Smith Center.
Yeah.
Going in there every day, seeing the people coming there. It was days they ain't even want to let me hoop. They tell me, oh, I can't play, I can't get on the court. That fueled me, knowing that I'm going to Oak Ridge probably the next morning or next day for practice. I'm coming in here with the same fire. So seeing all these people that everybody tried to put above me, they tried to belittle. They tried to say, oh, I go here, I go there. That's what really fueled me.
Yeah.
And then majority of the times I never had a trainer. So I never knew what it was like to get put through drills or do this or do that. And then my mom being a single mom, that didn't help either, because it was like she didn't play sports. So I didn't have all this to tell me or give me the insight based off what was going on. But my mentality got impacted from people telling me I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's what helped me, like, all right, you telling me I can't do it. This
I'ma
gonna
show
give me
you.
so this gonna give me the motive, like, all right, I ain't gonna do all the talking. I'm just gonna show you. So my mentality got impact based off, my surroundings and hearing things.
Not it's basically, in a sense, not having believers, you know what I mean? And it's good that you kind of pointed out that, nobody led you to where you was at until you already proved it. It
Correct.
was more like I got to prove myself in order for people to fuck with me, in order for people to be around me. Then once I got to that stage, it's like, well, it's too late. Nah, I've been doing this on my own. I can keep doing it on my own, and I can keep doing it in a way to, if I need help, I can reach out. If I
For
don't, I'm
sure.
still good regardless.
Absolutely.
So I want to take it back to, just the beginning, like where you first started playing basketball, where you first started, being robbed. You know what I mean? So just walk me through like your inspiration and just how you got a ball in your hand.
It's crazy because I was a multi-sport athlete. I never was committed to just one thing.
Yeah.
So I ran track. I played baseball. I played basketball, football, soccer. I was swim. I ran track. I did it all. And my mom had me in everything. So my mind was just always, once one season was over, it was something to do with the next.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where I got an older brother and he loved football. It got to a point where my mom just always wanted to let him hit me or try to get me tougher, I'm guessing, in a sense. But I got sick and tired of it. So I was like, man, I'm done. So I stopped playing like 6th grade year. I picked up a basketball. I hit a growth spurt. So it was just like, once I hit that growth spurt, I knew I was going to be good. So 7th grade year, it was some people in front of me. It was the same thing I was always dealing with. They was like, oh, you got to wait your turn. So I knew I was going to be able to take this far once I kept growing. Once I kept growing, I knew like, I got some height now. Usually in basketball, they always say you get some height, you can do something. I had a little size. So that's what made me kind of, stick with basketball. I wound up picking up a basketball though at the age of 5 and it stuck with me. But over the years, as I started to shape and see things different and knowing what was for me, I knew it was for me once I stopped doing everything else in 6th grade. So in reality, all those sports helped me and made me realize that basketball was for me, but in a sense, like all the other sports helped me shape and give me a different mentality of what each sport brings,
Exactly. So I'm gonna add on to this and just, this is taking this out of context of just sports because, we could talk about sports all day. You play sports, I played a little bit of sports. But if you kind of look at it, the thing that I want to bring up is the fuel aspect and just looking at the obstacles that you had to go through in order to get here. It's like, for instance, like you go through success and failures in life in order to reach your true passion, in order to reach your true potential. For instance, you went through multiple sports in order to find the one sport that you love that got you through college for free, that got you to be able to take care of yourself and put on for where you're from and put on for yourself and your family. And it's the same thing as your believers, whoever didn't believe you, whoever doubted you. All that led up into you, we're going to talk about it later on, but winning a state championship. A lot of people can't say they won at that level or even been on that stage to have a chance to compete. So a lot of people, they run away from these obstacles and they want to take the easier route and they want to, just skim through and get it easy, but they don't understand that all this can later on in your life get you exactly what you were looking for.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we have to go through the hardship. Sometimes we got to go through pain. Sometimes we got to go through failures and headaches in order to get what we want. But a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people don't really see the vision or trust themselves or trust their conscience.
Right.
So I want to talk about more about where we're from because I did it on the last episode with Bimp.
Right.
Bimp is a good friend of both of ours. You know Bimp a little bit longer than I have, but just in your mind, how do you view Orlando? You know what I mean? Because everybody know Rob.
Right.
But it's a lot of people that don't support Rob. It's a lot of people that don't push Rob. It's a lot of people that didn't believe in Rob.
Right.
Did that change your outlook of the city itself?
Nah, because I said it didn't change it because that's the stuff you gotta embrace. That's what you gotta love the most.
For sure.
That impacts the story a little bit different when you come from somewhere and not everybody gonna believe or back or, be behind you.
Yep.
So that gave me a little more fire because it was like, okay, I can add a little more. Like once I go somewhere different, then it's gonna be like, dang, like I ain't even know about him at first, or that's the kid from state championship or such and such like that. But Orlando is a place where it get overlooked as a theme park or as a attraction or as a, this is Disney, but a lot of people don't understand the background and like, how cruel it can be.
Yeah, for sure.
So, just growing up and being, where we from is just like, it's hard. And then like not having nothing is what really, it's the hard part. Cause it's like, this is where you come from. So no matter what you try to do to get away or add on to it, like this is what you come from. Like this is what is going to make you.
Yep.
So the biggest thing that I would say was that impacted me was my situation and my circumstances, not having nothing, not coming from nothing, and being able to say like, I ain't got it all figured out, or I was comfortable enough to tell people I don't got it, or I never had it. So I used to wear like, I had a pair of hooping shoes. They was like some Nike hooping shoes. Them was the only shoes I had. So it was to a point where people be like, I'm hooping. I go outside and hoop in them. I go to the gym. I ain't had no grip on the shoes.
Yeah.
But that's all I knew. That was my circumstances. So it was like, if I can beat this or get over this or, get to a point where I can live and get away from this, because this all I knew, I was going to be a better me. So that's what really impacted and helped me through the, phase of Orlando and like, how my outlook on it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people say pressure busts pipes, but also pressure does push through things and allow the pathway to be clear. So I want to take it back because, I really never ask people this, but I, as a friend, as a homeboy, I've seen your relationship with your mother.
Absolutely.
How has your relationship with your mother impacted you? Because every time, we on the phone or just in general, I see like you and your mom, y'all playing, y'all joking.
Yep.
How has your mom been there for you? Because like my mom was a single mother too. And, I have episodes where I highlight women as well as that, but just seeing your relationship with your mom and just, I just want to shine light on that. So how has your mom impacted you as a whole?
She was there when we ain't had nothing. It was times I watch her like go to work 5 a.m., don't get off till almost 6 o'clock. And them days right there, it was like, I wouldn't say they was glorious, but they was like, it highlights the kind of person you are, the character you have. And in school, you usually you got people who ride the bus, you got people who get picked up after school. I had to wait. So it'd be days I'm waiting 6:30 at night, waiting on my mama to get off work, to come pick me up. And them the days that make me closer to her, because it's like you sacrificing, or me and her like at a point where it's like I'm getting mad or I'm getting upset because I'm waiting, but at the same time, I gotta know that she getting off work, coming all the way to get me. She working all the way in Osceola. I'm going to school all the way in Orlando. Hour drive, traffic. So me as a kid, not knowing none of this, it's harder to, grasp at the time.
Frustration.
But the more you get older and you start to see like, if you got a mama who present, you only get one mom. You got to take care. You got to cherish, and you got to really pull the ones who closer. And when I was at my lowest, or when I was at a time in my life where I had no direction, no guidance, or, just running wild as a kid, she was there to help me. She was there to pull me in, or she was there to embrace her son to allow me to know that it's going to be okay. It was times where I had nobody to lean on. I had nobody to call. It was times where I just pick up and, call her and see what's going on at the jail. She'll just say, hey, like, it's going to be okay. Or like, it'll be days where she'll be like, everything going to be all right. Like, it's going to work out in the favor you want it to. And one thing she always taught me was never depend on nobody.
For sure.
Because she never depended on nobody. If she needed something, or if she needed to do something, or it was something that needed to be taken care of, I knew she was going to always get it done.
Exactly.
Whether it was a hard day, it was a rainy day, storm, cloudy, no matter what, broke, depressed, doing it on her own, she was going to get it done. There was a day I watched her, she rolled her ankle real bad. And it's hilarious to us now, but like back then, it was hard because I ain't never seen my mama cry. But bruh, she rolled her ankle so bad. She had on some platform shoes. In the jail, you got to wear like a certain kind of shoe.
Yeah.
She rolled her ankle so bad at her friend house, she came home crying. So I'm like, dang, like, Mom, what's going on? What's happening? She's like, I rolled my ankle. So she just crying, couldn't sleep. She was in there asleep on the air mattress. And we had just moved in this apartment, sleeping on the air mattress, crying. And I'm in there like, what can I do? So I'm in there getting a plastic bag full of ice, holding it on her ankle, massaging it. She just crying. And, you know, as mothers never want to let their kids see them cry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing this, I'm like, dang, I kid you not. She wound up telling me, son, just go to bed. I'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, she was gone. I'm like, she just rolled her ankle. She hurting. Where's she at?
Mm-hmm.
She called me. She say, I left some money for you. I used to ride the Lynx bus.
Yeah.
She said, I left some money for you. Get you something to eat on the way to school, and I'll come get you afterwards.
For sure.
Seeing stuff like that is just what really, as a son, it makes you want to like run through a wall for your mama, because it's like,
that's your hero.
If I can see that, and you can impact me that way,
facts,
just from a way of you being hurt, and I'm trying to do my best as a kid to bring you in and make you feel better, and you get up and go to work the next day, it ain't no way I can ever diminish, put my mama down, or, you know, never not want to bring her along with any success I got.
It make you never want to complain.
At all.
You know,
because it's like, I'm watching you do this at an older age than me. Ain't no way. Whatever I go through, whatever I deal with, I can't do it. So the relationship with my mama, bro, is none and no other. And there's no non-negotiables when it come to her. You know,
sure.
Got her through whatever. She need me. It may be a little complaining because you older now. You know, you wanna make sure like, all right, I ain't the kid no more. But man, she get whatever she want from me.
For sure. And I feel like that's how it should be. You know, I ask you that because this is just a little bit off the aim I want to go in, but it's just sometimes I think, bro, is like a lot of people take relationships for granted, and I feel like one of the relationships that we all should value is the one of our mothers, because Absolutely. I feel like our mothers are just so it's like at times when you look back on the sacrifices they made once you get older, you feel like, damn, they was invincible.
Correct.
They wake up every day and do it, and they don't complain, but they make sure they kids straight.
Sure.
They make sure you straight in order for you to live the life that you want to live when you get older. That way you don't have to struggle as much as they did.
Correct.
And a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, that's what father figures are for, but people like us don't have that.
They have it, yeah.
You know what I mean? And one of these days, you know, I have a mother on here and I have that conversation with them, but I also just want to give flowers out to mothers, because, you know, just seeing your relationship with your mom and just seeing other people's relationship with their parents, it's kind of like inspirational, because at the same time, we all have different stories, but if you put our stories together, it all includes our mothers being there for us from the very start.
Sure. Absolutely.
So I just wanted to get out of that, because, you know, I always see that and I'm like, damn, man, their relationship's so good. You know what I mean? Like, I do the same thing with my mom. I troll with her and we have our times, you know what I mean? Good or bad, but it's still always love for her. And I give her the clothes off my back and I give her every single dollar I have.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But I want to ask you something, and, you know, it's up to you how vulnerable you want to get, but you know what I mean? You talked about air mattresses. You talked about struggles. Like, people don't know that. Yeah. You know what I mean? People know you. Like, I always tell people, they always look at athletes as just a hero. They don't look at, you know, all the scars that's beyond the cape.
Yeah.
And they don't look at the backstory on what motivated and what drove them to get there. So just, you know, what struggles did you endure that kind of, you know, shaped you to be the man that you are today? You know, take away the basketball, take away the accolades. What have you been through that, you know, nobody knows?
Man, it's a lot, but really just the biggest one I say is the environment I grew up in, and just being broke. Like, it'd be times where it was me and my cousins all in my grandma's house.
Yep.
8, 9 of us in a 3-bedroom, sleeping on the floor, making pallets. Like, kids nowadays don't even probably know what a pallet is.
They don't even stay at their grandma's house.
You feel me? So it's like being over there, just seeing like all of us share clothes, or like me and my brother like share clothes, and, you know, he wear it one week, I wear it the next week, people picking on us. But me knowing that the kind of brother I got or kind of sibling I got, we ain't go for none of that. So it was like, all right, like, we stood up for what it was, and like stuff like that is what really help you and shape you to like understand, like, you can't take life like for granted, or you can't take little things for granted, because struggles like that is what really like,
it builds you.
You know what I'm saying? It helps your character. But a lot of things people really don't know is I work 2 jobs, and they don't know that. In school, I used to go to school practice. I used to leave practice early to go work. I worked at Journeys in Millennium Mall for 2 years.
I remember that.
After that, I worked for City of Orlando until I went to college. I actually I wouldn't have stopped working at City of Orlando. I quit because in college, they say you couldn't work.
Yeah.
So my coach was like, if it's a summer job and I'm helping kids, I can do it. But 9 times out of 10, like, I wasn't doing it because I didn't want to go against the rules. But I had to work 2 jobs, and like, everything that I got or bought or did, I did it on my own. Feel me? So what really helped and shaped me through the struggles was going out there to get it. Like seeing that nowadays with kids, probably they don't have to work or do
They
much
don't
to
gotta,
get
they
money.
don't,
You know what I'm saying?
you know, I mean, it all depends. I mean, some people, you know, have unfortunate circumstances just like
Correct.
ourselves,
For
but
sure.
everything now is very accessible. Like you can access it easily because it's right in front of your face. Back then, with us, it was like,
It's no blueprint.
it's no blueprint. Like I
Yeah.
always used to tell people, like my biggest thing that I want in life was a guide or a mentor.
Right.
When you don't have that, it's like you trusting yourself, and it's like they put you in them little clown houses that got all the mirrors and shit, and you just keep running into the same wall, thinking that you see an exit.
For sure.
Like that, it'll fuck you up
For
mentally.
sure.
But at the same time, whenever it does fuck you up, it creates another personality and it creates another character in yourself that makes you want to get out of that situation, that makes you want to get out of that mirror house. Because you want to see it clear, you want to see it through, and you want to be able to live the lifestyle that you want to, but you know you got to make it out. No matter how good you is, no matter how smart, intelligent, wealthy you is, you still got to find out a way to get out of that mirror house, because at the end of the day, you're going to keep seeing yourself and you don't know who to trust, yourself or what's in the mirror.
Right.
It's traumatizing.
It is.
You know what I mean? Especially like you have your struggles. I've had my struggles.
For sure.
Just because our struggles are different, it doesn't make us different at all.
At all.
We still went through something that was traumatizing and something that we look back on that got us to be the men that we are today. You know what I mean? And I hate to cut you off, but it's just, we relate right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to get that out because a lot of people need to hear that, especially when you mention the kids. Like,
absolutely,
these kids walk around talk anyway to their mama like, shit, I did that back then, I probably wouldn't be here right now. You know what I mean? And it's just I think a lot of things in this generation are going to be taken for granted. You know what I mean? That's why I like to get on here and just speak about
for sure
my experiences and everybody else's experience, because people going to look back at this, or people going to look at this and be like, damn, that's true.
And I want them to understand that I ain't speaking from a place of better than you, or that I want you to go through that, but I'm speaking of a place of that's how I was disciplined, or that's how things had to go in order for me to be where I'm at.
Exactly.
And I don't want people to think that it's not okay to work, or like you, because nowadays, he no, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with putting money in your pocket to help yourself. It's nothing wrong with doing the right thing and being a stand-up citizen. It's nothing wrong with being better for yourself. And I want people to know that, like, I did that because I had to. I ain't do it because it was like, I had it all. No, I did it because I had to. And I highlighted it with no problem. I had no problem telling people I worked at Journeys. And 9 times out of 10, people see me working at Journeys. Only the real ones know this.
Yeah.
People see me come to work and be like, don't you hoop? Don't you play basketball? Yeah. Ain't gonna stop me from going to work. Feel me?
I gotta get it.
I go to practice. I go to school all day, practice, leave practice, sweaty, change the clothes in the car, go to work. I drove a Chrysler 300 with no AC for like 7-8 months. And a lot of people didn't know that. Cool. They seen I had a car, so that was all they knew. He's 17 with a car. I bought the car on my own. I paid for it by working a job.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's like, they be like, dang. Now when they hear this, they gonna be like, I never knew that about Rob. Because all people know is he was happy. He came to school every day. He knew how to make you laugh. You know, they gonna see that. They gonna see the personality, but they ain't see the struggle or me like being sweaty, going to work, not knowing who you gonna see, run into. None of that. So it's like, man, I had to share that because that's a part of me. Like, that's my struggle. And it's only a test to the testimony.
Exactly. So I want to kind of like ease into a certain chapter of your life where, you know, it was highlighted, but kind of wasn't rewarded properly. So your senior year, like I said, like we went to school together, but I remember things very vividly. Your senior year, were you starting? No, right?
I was starting my senior year.
You were starting your senior year?
I was starting my senior year.
So, but the recruiting class that came in that year was heavy.
Definitely heavy.
So it was a lot of, what's the word I want to use? A lot of fluctuating. There was a lot of changes being made.
Absolutely.
You can kind of, you know, speak on this to yourself, but the people that came in, it was more like politics. It was very political, and they were very big names to where some light was shining on you, but some wasn't.
Yeah. So majority of it wasn't, but I get what you're saying.
My point exactly. So what I'm getting at is I want to skip all the way to the end. Y'all made it far, and y'all won a state championship. what happened after the state championship, that's what I want to discuss, because people think when you win, you get rewarded.
Yeah.
When you win a ring in the NBA, you usually
Yeah.
get an extension or you get some type of,
You go somewhere for a better opportunity.
Exactly.
Correct.
Did that happen with you? Hold on. Before we continue the episode, I just got one question for you. Are you ready to be a part of the Lounge family? What is the Lounge family? The Lounge family is simply the community on my platform, on my website, since everywhere, where we all stay united through daily quotes, free mental health guides, merchandise, early access to episodes, clips, and segments, and much more. If you're ready to be a part of the Lounge family and join me as a community and join everyone else as a whole and unite as one and keep the world moving as one, use that link down below and join the Lounge family now. Thank you. See you soon.
That didn't happen with me. And the highlight of that moment was probably one of the biggest pinnacles, I'd say, of my life, just because of, what I went through to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But to speak on that, the state championship, after that probably was the lowest moment of my life, because at that time I quit Journeys because I was like, I won a state championship. I'm going to get an offer. I'm going to go to school. So I was like, I can't work no more.
Mm-hmm.
And my mindset flipped. I was broke. I was living, I tell this story all the time to Bimp or to people close to me, they know this.
Mm-hmm.
I had $30 to my name. I was going to prep school. I couldn't, at this time, my mom moved to Ocoee.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go home some days because I didn't have enough money or gas to get home. So I was going from prep school. I was going from Richmond Heights to prep school, back to Richmond Heights. I had to put $7 some days, $6 in the tank just to get to where I gotta go. And it was to a point where my mom was transitioning to her business. So it was real tight. Money was tight, everything. I had no job.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, I'm in orientation for City of Orlando. So it was days where I had to go from practice to orientation. And it'd be days where it was like, all right, I got to sit here or I got to go back to Richmond Heights just so I can make it to practice.
Mm-hmm.
So around that time, it was just so hard because I didn't know which route I wanted to go. I thought it was over for me because in a sense, you usually be like, this your time now.
Mm-hmm.
2019, going into 2019, I was just lost and I had no help. I didn't know who to go to because I don't think people been in my situation before.
For sure.
So the only people I could relate to at that moment was my mom because I know how it is with her in tough times. So we made the decision. And after that, we made the decision to go prep. And it paid and worked out in my favor tremendously because it helped me get to where I was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after prep, it was a hard time because I committed to Tulane. And then after I committed to Tulane, the coaching staff got fired. So I was back to square one. I was back lost. I was back depressed. I was back sad because I felt like all my hard work again didn't get rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people need to know every win ain't going to come with a reward.
No.
But a risk going to come with it.
Mm-hmm.
An opportunity, a chance, growth, a relationship that you may miss out on going to come with it.
Mm-hmm.
So some things you got to know when you win, it ain't always going to be the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to pivot back to what I knew was work. I worked. The work that I put in came over time, and that's what led me to my decision to go to Stetson, coaching changes, and obviously just being able to see your work unfold in front of you like that, not knowing you seeing everybody 2018 go to college, so they're a year in, you feel behind.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually in life, that the Bible and God tell you don't compare yourself. It's the thief of joy.
Yeah.
I never got into that cycle because I already knew I wouldn't say I was destined. I knew what my work can take me to.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard for me at times, seeing my peers go in college or seeing my peers commit here, do that, at the next level. Cause I knew I was supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was supposed to have that hard work pay off.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time it didn't. So I had to sit back. I had to realize, I had to rethink, refocus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what shifted my gear. And that's what's really, what helped me and shaped me to get to where I'm at now.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought all that up because I was going to go right at that point. So the point I was trying to make with bringing that up is just the fact that a lot of people think because they have big names around them, it's going to affect them or that it makes it easier for them. It doesn't.
Mm-mm.
No matter how good you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how talented you are at doing what you got to do, you still have to create a way to where you stand out away
For sure.
from those individuals that you're surrounding yourself with. You was around names, I don't even want to name them because they probably doing their own thing. I don't need their names being included this, but you around big names to where anybody would be like,
this show.
This is they show. Like, this is made to be. All of them gonna make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It just makes sense.
Sure.
And then y'all won. It makes sense. Everybody gonna be out. Everybody gonna make it.
Yep.
And that didn't happen.
At all.
Knowing what you did, you won. You not only won on the biggest platform, you outshined everybody on the biggest platform when nobody was there.
For sure.
You put on the cape and you did your thing. And if I'm not mistaken, you won MVP, right?
Correct.
I've never heard of an MVP not being rewarded. Never. No matter at any platform. I've seen, just to even bring up basketball, the one guy that played for Oakland, the shooter, when he was in March Madness.
Right.
They ain't win shit,
Exactly.
but he performed well and he got rewarded.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And this is just somebody that's shooting the ball. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Not around no names. He still went on the biggest platform, did it, got rewarded. So I know when it comes times to where you put in the work, especially over all these years, and you have to go back to square one, it'll make you lost. It'll make you question yourself. Some may even say make you question God. What am I doing wrong?
And a lot of people don't know, when you get back to square one, it'll make you want to quit or make you want to do what's easy. I can't do it no more. I got to give in. I got to do something different. Why? You've been doing it so long. You think because you've been doing it so long, in your head, it should be routine. It should be consistent. It should be insanity. You should want to be like, I can't wait. So when I got that opportunity to go back to square one, I told you how I was feeling, but that didn't stop my motive. That ain't stop my mindset. That ain't stop me from, saying it's a will. Because it's a want and there's a will. You got to be willing to do it. A lot of people want to do it. Are you willing to do it?
Exactly.
Are you willing to put in the hours? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to go to further extent to go about how you want to, do things? I was willing to do it. I was willing to do anything that came with succeeding. And still to this day, I'm willing to do it. I've been doing it for so long. And now I know how to navigate. Now I know how to, if I'm back to square one, you know what? Let's hit a different target this time, Rob. Let's approach it a different way. You've been doing it for a minute. So it's like, how can you go about it this time different? Everything, it ain't gonna look the same every time when you're doing it.
Exactly.
But you got to do the same thing that you're doing with the same mindset that you do everything else in.
For sure.
So if you're going to go hard, you got to pray hard. You got to live hard. You got to do right by people. All those things, correlate into how you trying to get and what you trying to get out of this life.
Exactly. I think a lot of people just fall in love with instant results because, especially with social media, you see people doing what you want to do, or you see people having what you want to have, and you think you can try what they doing, and if it don't work instantly,
for sure,
you just give up.
Correct.
So a lot of people, are very comfortable.
For sure.
A lot of people, they don't adapt to change, but they are changing because of scarcity. They are changing because they failed once. All right, I'm on to something new.
Right.
Because if that something new works quick, then it's for me. But not knowing that if it's quick, it can still die out quickly as well too. So, I just want to give you flowers and just say, like, it's a lot of things that you said that I didn't know. Especially with us being friends for plus years, just making your story known. Like, even when I hoop down here, I always bring you up. Yeah, I know somebody that hoop overseas. I know somebody that do this. I know somebody that do that. Because it's not just to brag, but it's just to show that I'm proud. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I can't do what he can do, but if I bring him here, he'll do what I say he can do.
Exactly.
This is a proven fact. This is something that I can prove.
Right.
This is somebody that you may not have seen, but you have heard.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't do that with their friends, and they think like, oh, I don't got to, like their name and speak for itself. But sometimes you got to bring up names. You never know what opportunities may come from it.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm proud of you, bro.
I appreciate it.
You gon' get everything you deserve, because like people like us or people like yourself, we always gonna hit a hole in the road, and our tire may go flat. We may have to change it and sit down for a little while, or we may hit a point in our life to where we just got to make a U-turn.
Yeah.
It happens. Sometimes things don't last long.
Ain't nothing wrong with going in a new direction.
It ain't.
And I want to highlight the fact that you gave your appreciation, or like you showed your gratitude, expressed that towards me, because nowadays, in the times we living in, that gets frowned upon, or it gets talked about. Oh, glazing, or you're overdoing it.
You just You're doing too much. The thing is, with too much, it's never too much.
Never
Nothing
too
you do
much.
is never too much because it's just going to be more.
For sure.
If me talking about somebody is too much, I don't give a fuck. I don't
exactly.
you can't tell me what's too much for me.
For sure.
If I want to support somebody heavily, that's what I'm gonna do because I can see potential in them growing.
It's not enough of that nowadays. It's not enough. And being good to somebody or being good in general, you do good gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cycle. So I appreciate that in the light of support, and I appreciate that in the light of love, because things like that, is dismissed or, it's not showed enough. So, I appreciate the opportunity just to be on here to speak and to give game or give light, to things that need to be talked about. And, support and love are two things that, I thrive on because it's like, it don't cost. And half of the time when you show love, it'll come back to you. It may not come back to you in a form that you want it, but it'll come back to you in a form that you may have needed.
Yeah.
Or it'll come back to you in a form that can help somebody else. And nowadays, it ain't enough love. So I want to highlight the fact that you even gave that, gratitude towards me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just, I see potential in everybody, even if they just trying and they haven't reached their goals yet. It's just, sometimes you got to be honest with yourself and understand that some people route is different. Some people route is easy. There's a lot of people that do what I do and out of benefit. And I think they probably suck at it.
Right.
I can say they suck.
Right.
But they still reaping the things or the accomplishments that I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be okay with that. I can't be mad. Like you said, comparison is a thief. Like you can't sit here and compare yourself to anybody because your route just may be different.
Don't know what it took for them to get there.
Exactly. I don't know. I may not think they're good, but I don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Right.
They may have 1,000 scars compared to my 100.
Mm-hmm. Or they may have a relationship with somebody who been in there that got them in there that you may not even know. And it's like, whatever time it takes for me to get there, that's my time.
Yep.
And however long, even if they cheated it, even if how they got there wasn't the right way, it's cool. I know what I'm doing. It's going to translate and it's going to transform to a point where I did it the right way. Exactly. I won. Feel me? So
exactly. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like you said, like love and support is not in the air no more. It's not being soaked in from other people. People rather, look at it from a distance and be like, oh, I probably could do that, but I don't need to.
Right.
They don't see it as a necessity. They see it as an option.
Right.
And what people don't realize is that when you start to view things as an option so much, it kind of blinds you because when somebody treats you like an option, you don't like that. You hate that.
At all. For real.
It'll make people so mad and disgusted. They'll cut people off. They'll do anything in their power to get people to understand that they're not an option, but supporting and loving somebody else is an option. Everything is not, reciprocal these days. So, it is what it is, but things like that I don't even frown upon. It's just like, you just got to look at it and be like, it's cool. That's not me though.
Yeah. Keep moving.
Exactly. So I want to kind of get into the point where you're at right now in life. So what are you currently doing right now?
So right now I'm just still working out. I'm still in the process of, maintaining and focusing on what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I just came back from overseas actually in April. I had some agent issues, some problems that people don't talk about. Had some agent problems. I felt as if like, I wouldn't say it wasn't going hard, but I felt as if like what I did, I wouldn't say it wasn't enough, but people prioritize what they want. And, working with agencies, they sometimes prioritize people over you who they feel as if can bring them more income. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you got to find genuine. You got to find people who are willing to work. So I ran into some agent problems and, I had a little setback, but like I told you earlier in speaking, can't nothing knock you off your focus or your pivot or, make you feel a certain way when you've been at the bottom. Yeah. The goal is to get from the bottom. A lot of people want to say, oh, the goal is get to the top, stay on top. I want to get from off the bottom. I want to find a way that I can, find a light and make sure I find a light at the end of that tunnel. So when that time come again and whatever I dealt with, I'm going to be good. So my situation right now is I found a new agent. I found some new agencies, that's willing to help me and, found some people who's willing to go to bat for me. Mm-hmm. So right now we just waiting. We're playing the waiting game. I'll probably be headed out soon, to a team that's willing to take on my talents and, find things that, be in my way. So right now that's what I'm doing, making sure I'm working, staying consistent, being in shape. So that's the biggest thing. That's where I'm at right now in life.
Okay. So when you say, and I don't want to say this in our quote, but you say your agent basically it's basically like in a sense they seen value in other people that'll compensate them. So just, of course, humbly speaking, do you think you're at a point in your life or career that you deserve, high, recognition and high compensation from other teams, agency, or do you feel like you're still at that next square one to where, I did what I did in college. Now I'm getting to a point where I have to begin over and overseas. Or do you feel like I've already proven myself too much to the point where you know it and you got to handle up on business? How do you?
For sure, you're going to feel that way about yourself. Of course, like, you're going to want to think you deserve the highest. You're going to want to think you deserve the biggest contracts. And you should have that confidence. You should have that motivated. You should have that mindset to be like, you know what? Can't nobody do nothing with me. I got confidence enough to know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But you got to know in a sense that everything is I ain't going to say it's a game. Everything is a climb, or everything is how can you get better step from step?
Yeah,
and you got to figure out how can you climb that step. Today I may have climbed 1 step. Tomorrow I may climb 3. The next day I may climb 3. Again, I may go back down 5. So it's like, how can you continue to build, and how can you continue to not let that get in the way or derail your process of where you're trying to go?
Exactly.
So the biggest thing with me is, now that I understand, I got to be somewhere where I'm understood. So I want people to understand and know that when you're dealing with different peoples and these companies that they're building, they have people who've been in the space longer, or they have people who got a name, or they have people who's foreign or got dual citizenship. So it's a little easier for them to, work with them. Sometimes my background or, what I did, it may not be enough. It may not be done in a way that they want to seem, or that's the typical way.
Exactly.
So now that I know that, the more game and knowledge I get from other people that I got who mentor me, or who, been there before, who can tell me about it, it's becoming more of an easier process. So, and I ain't in no rush. I ain't in no hurry. I'm still at a point, I'm just scratching the surface. So whatever's coming my way, I know it's coming my way because I prayed on it, I worked on it, I manifested it, and I let my faith do everything that I needed to do, So that's kind of the process with that and how I feel.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's good that you say all that humbly, because a lot of people, they're, just in general with sports and just real life, a lot of people think, okay, I did what I did, now give me everything.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And just me being myself, I come in my career, I took a pay cut to get in my career. A lot of people not taking pay cuts.
Right.
A lot of people not starting over from zero after that they have reached a high accomplishment and starting over to get to where they need to be. Like, it's all about seeing the vision. You know what I mean? And especially for both of us, we young as hell.
Right.
We got plenty of time. It's a lot of people that don't get shit figured out till they 50, 60.
Correct.
And a lot of people see 50 or 60 as the end of life when it's not. You can just be getting started.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
So I'm glad that you understand, like, you just not scratching the surface, like you just not getting your feet wet. Like, this is all new to you.
Yeah.
It's not the beginning, but it's all new to you. This is a new chapter. This is the same book.
Same book.
Just a new chapter. And a lot of people are scared and they don't understand it. They think, like I said earlier, they want everything up front, and then they say, okay, you gave me all this, now I'm performing.
Right.
So I'm glad that, you recognize that, and that's really important. So one thing I do want to ask you, everything all serious, and it's always, I troll Bimp. I trolled Bimp last episode, so I'm going to do the same thing to you. I know you idolize KD. You idolize him a lot. I think KD good. He not really top 10. You may say otherwise. But, just from a hooper standpoint, if you and KD was to play to 10, how much you scoring on KD?
See, my mindset different. And Slim, my guy. And I love KD.
7 foot, by the way.
I love what he brings to the game. I love, like, the staple he is, to basketball culture. But respectfully, and you know me, I'm confident as ever. I'm winning.
What's the score?
Wherever we going to, I'm winning. So we going to 11.
Y'all go to 11. What's the score?
I like me, 11-10, 11-9, whatever he got. I like me to win.
And how you scoring the last point to win?
However he give it to me. I take what the game give me, So, man, I always say that because you don't never want to just say, oh, nobody can beat you, or
Yeah, for
he
sure.
could be missing that day. Something like his shot could be off. I could just be making everything. And I've been playing the game for quite a while now. He's obviously been playing it longer, but I know how to figure things out. Like the same way he can figure things out. You know, the game may be a little easier for him because he's done it more, but I'm at a point now where in my life it's like, all right, if something ain't going right, I can do this. I can manipulate the game in different ways that makes sense. But
11-10, Jesus Christ. That means if
Greatest.
you think that, I might well say I can score on KD probably one time.
You probably can. I mean, you just gotta have that confidence to know that.
Throw that motherfucker up, man. Let that bitch fly. But no, on the realness though, I definitely appreciate you, traveling out here. As y'all know, we are back home. My boy, he's in Orlando. All my guests, I don't want to say all my guests, but, most of my guests have traveled to come sit down with me. So it's always an honor to have anybody on this platform and have anybody come speak, because it's not about me. It's about, highlighting somebody else's story in order to educate not only myself, but others. So I definitely appreciate you, taking this drive and coming out here, sitting down with your boy.
Absolutely.
I always, in my segments, in a particular way with everybody. So what I ask is, I ask people to just say 3 truths, either something that you learned, something that you want to tell people, or something that you've seen to the audience that will not only help them in their life, but also, just what helped you.
And I may not even have 3 truths, but I got some knowledge and some gems that I can give out because I went through it.
Yeah, I also want you to drop some gems for the youngins that's trying to get to where you got, because you may not think about it, but I don't like to call people fans. I like to call people supporters.
Yep.
You got some supporters that probably still watch your highlights to this day, that probably see you and be like, oh my God, that's Rod,
Sure.
that will walk in the gym and don't even want to play no more and just want to watch you play.
Sure.
So make sure, just address them if you can, as long as, with the free game that you have.
So I want to say this. Wherever you are, wherever you at, whatever you doing, always take a moment, give praise to God. That's the first thing I want to say. He knows what you're doing. He knows where you at. He knows your situation. Give all your glory and your faith to him. He will help you in anything. He will get you through anything. You can talk to him whenever, however, and he will hear you. He will seek you. He will help you. He will do everything he can to make sure that, I want to say you in a better place, but get you to a better place. That's the first thing I want to say. Second thing I want to say is, you can do whatever in your situation, no matter what. Don't ever let nobody tell you what you can or can't do, because the sky is not the limit. You can go above and beyond that, And just some things with my situation, I never thought that I would, be where I'm at, but I always thought that I would be successful. And with my light that I can shine and give the youth, man, whatever you can, take every opportunity that you can. Make the most of every situation. Be the best version of you wherever you at. And always be where your feet are, because you can't never be far from where your feet are. You can't be in two places at one time. You just can't. So be where your feet are. Make the most of wherever you are, where your feet are at. And whenever you put your best foot forward and you put the work in, there's no secret recipe. There's no just one thing to do, or there's just not one thing to learn. Work hard at whatever you do. Have faith. Set goals. Manifest. And I'm telling you, it may not be whatever the outcome you want, but you'll be in a better situation than what you are. And I want to just give a highlight to the places that made me, starting off with Oak Ridge, Richmond Heights, and then I want to highlight Stetson. Stetson was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. A school in, DeLand, Florida, in between Daytona, Orlando. School that not a lot know about, but, some know about it now, because not just because of me, but because I went there and made an impact right away. And then I went to, 3 years later, I went to Murray State, a school that was already known for hoops, a school that was already, in the mid-major combos, probably one of the best mid-majors ever, And I just want to say, I made an impact wherever I went. So don't ever think your impact can only be left in one place, or, in your family, or, your childhood friends. Your impact can be left wherever you go, and it's up to you to make that impact. So I want to just give a thanks, to my boy Trey for allowing me to be on this podcast and allowing me to give out, knowledge or, just some gems that y'all can take with y'all in y'all everyday life or, your career and your path or wherever you going. So just take this with an open mind, open ear, and continue to thrive, continue to excel, believe in yourself, and just have faith and everything will work out for you.
For sure. It's a question that I wanted to ask too. And I don't know why the hell it slipped my mind earlier. It's a question because I really wanted to talk about it. So I'm gonna ask, even though it is the end of the episode. What is the biggest life lesson that you're learning right now as a man?
The biggest life lesson I'm learning as a man, have patience. And a lot of people would think, that's it. I'm telling you, patience. We tend to overlook having patience. We tend to overlook being still.
But why is that though?
Because we want everything to be done now. We want everything to work in our favor. You gotta be patient. Even with, let's just say having a girl, you gotta have patience to have that because it come with nagging. It come with, responsibilities. It comes with truth. It comes with honor. It comes with integrity. Gotta have patience to have all that. You have no patience. You want to rush. You want to up and just do things. You want to make impulse decisions. That's just no patience. That's just a sign of you trying to hurry up. You trying to rush. You trying to not be still. Patience. So what I'm learning now is that I gotta have patience with whatever I do. And whoever around me at the time or whoever I'm teaching, I let them know that you gotta have patience too. Whether I'm raising my child, even though I have no kids, I gotta have patience with them because they gotta learn the same things that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
It may be in a different fashion, but I gotta teach them potty train. Gotta teach them how to use manners. Gotta teach them how to be respectful. I gotta teach them how to read, write. Little things. Open the doors for people. Just be kind. All that comes with patience. So life teaching me now, went through 5 years of college, and your time go by so fast that you don't even realize it, but you get out and you become this adult and you think like it's gonna work in that. Nah, patience. That job you want, you may have to be patient. I may have submitted my resume somewhere and somebody, the same person as me, for instance, like in my field overseas, somebody watching this right now in the same predicament I'm in, listening to it, that I know in the same position I'm in, did good in college, good numbers wherever, probably had some agent issues or the agent probably wasn't working, sitting at home waiting for the opportunity, just like me. So right now, my profession is teaching me patience.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest lesson right now that I'm learning is patience because I don't got nothing else. So it's like, I can't turn and do something different. I got to be patient and still and know that whatever God has for me is coming. So, man, my biggest lesson right now, I say that I'm learning and that I'm giving out every day is patience.
I say take it a day at a time, man. It's a lot of things in my life, and me and Bimp touched on it a little bit. It's with patience, it's really faith. And just having faith it gets so hard because
Absolutely.
You're deserving.
For sure.
You're doing everything. And it could be like, for instance, like, you're a great person. You somebody that would give your all for anybody, but you still struggling financially. You still struggling mentally, and you just don't know why. And you thinking like this, it's no way this shit could be happening to me. It's no way that this can be a lesson.
Right.
Because at this point, typically people want to give up.
You wanna just give in.
And that is the biggest battle of them all. Like I tell people all the time, like, for instance, like I just got out of a work situation, my last place where I worked. Great people, amazing place. But the way I was living was not the way I wanted to live. But I had to be patient in order to get this position that I have now, in order to do things I want to do. Like today, just randomly, I went to my old job. And them people say, we can see the joy in your face. And for people I spent 2 years with to say that to me, that means they knew that I was miserable, but I stayed down. You just got to wait. You got to be patient. I stayed down for 2 years. I lost friends, family, opportunities, money. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't do nothing with my life for 2 years, but I stayed down because I knew something was going to come out of all of this suffering. And people got to do that, whether it be with sports, love, money, mentally, anything. as long as you stand down and you waiting and you have faith in yourself and God,
Yep.
something to come your way, even if it's so small. You gotta have the faith of the mustard seed.
Yeah.
Like it's
Got
literally
to.
that's the blueprint for you. If you ain't got nowhere else to turn to, get in your Bible or just have talks with yourself.
Definitely get in that Bible. Cause it'll tell you everything you want to know.
I tell people that's the biggest cheat code. That's the biggest and cheapest cheat code to life.
Yep. It's free. It's free on the App Store. It's free.
That's
you can
what
read
I'm
it.
saying.
It's digital. It's digital.
It's
there.
digital.
It's there for
You
you.
can access it. You can highlight it. You can do whatever. You can manipulate it in any way that you want to.
It's there.
And if you have questions, the answers are there.
It's written.
So
it's written.
You know, I should have asked that question earlier, but it's just
it's good that we got to it now. Though.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm gonna let you go ahead and shout out your platforms and, you know, let the people know where they can reach you. If you want to tell them where they can find you, Google, YouTube, whatever the case may be, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I'm everywhere, man. Y'all know me. Y'all know my story now. Y'all know what I'm about, what I represent. But, man, you can find me on every platform. R. Perry 2, Google. You can Google Robin Perry or you can Google Rob Perry. It don't matter. You can do however you want to do it. But, man, I'm at R. Perry 2 on Instagram, Robin Perry on Twitter, RP2 on TikTok, regardless of how they want to do it. Then the biggest platforms you see me on, but that's where you can find me at.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before I do close out, like I said before, I want to give my appreciation to my boy for pulling up. You know what I mean? I appreciate you pulling up, appreciate you staying down, you know, as a friend, as a brother. But y'all, I want to say this before I get out. This is beyond the episode. Y'all make sure y'all go get y'all merch. I'm going to keep talking about it every single time.
Tap in.
If y'all make it this far to the end, for most people that do, the merch is online. If you made it this far, I am doing a deal for Black Friday. If you made it this far, you're going to hear about it on the next episode. So just make sure you stay tuned to the next episode because I will be bringing in all the merch. Even the merch that's not even out. So it will be out. Trust and believe. But y'all know how I am with the outro. Gone.